Hello everyone, I am Ms. Divya Verma, Faculty of Social Science, Class 7, Mount Literacy School, Jhansi. Students, in the last three lectures, we had talked about lesson number 2 of history, that is, New Kings and Kingdoms. And in that lecture, we have talked about the kingdoms. Now, here are the question answers related to starting two lectures of this chapter. Now, first question is, who were Pratiharas? So, the Gujarat Pratiharas, also known as the Imperial Pratiharas, it was a dynasty that came to India in about 16th century. They established independent states in many portions of northern India and Rajasthan. So this was the answer of who were Pratiharas. Now the next question will be, who were the Rajputs? Explain the theory regarding their origin. So answer, Rajput is derivative of a Sanskrit word Rajputra, which means son of a king. They belong to sun family called Suryavanshi or moon family called Chandravanshi. The Rajputs originated from western, eastern, northern India and from some parts of Pakistan. There are many different theories regarding the origin of Rajputs. One of those theories of Agnikula, which says Rajputs descended from Agni. Next, then the four Rajput clans who were born from Agnikula are Chalukyas, Pratiharas, Chauhans and Parmars. Now, question number 3 is, who were the Palas? So, describe their reign. So, the answer will be, the word Pala means protector. The kingdom of Palas consisted of almost the whole of Bengal and much of Bihar. They rescued Bengal. The Palas ruled from 8th to the 12th century. By the middle of 12th century, they had succumbed to the rising power of Senas. Gopala was the founder of the Pala dynasty. So this was the answer of who were the Palas. Okay, now the next question will be, what was the motive behind Mahmud's invasion in India in the 11th century? Mahmud of Ghazni belonged to the family of Persian rulers. His aim was to plunder the wealth of India and the expansion of his empire. So this was the aim and the motive behind the Mahmud's invasion in India. Okay, the next question now will be of, how did Muhammad Ghori consolidate the Turkish power in India? So answer will be, Muhammad Ghori knew that India was politically weak at the time. Therefore, he decided to establish his empire in India. One of the greatness of Muhammad Ghori was that none of his defeats could weaken his spirits or check his ambitions. He also established military posts. This all helped him consolidating the Turkish power in India. So this was, how did Muhammad Ghori consolidate the Turkish power in India? Okay, the next question will be about, describe the relation between Mahmud of Ghazni and the Hindu Shahi rulers. So, answer, Mahmud of Ghazni was a commander belonged to the family of Persian rulers, that is Afghanistan, Kabul, Ghazni. Towards the east lay the Hindu Shahi kingdom of East Afghanistan, and Punjab, which was repeatedly attacked by the Ghaznis. As the Rajputs helped the Hindu Sahis against the Ghaznis, Mahmud gained his victory against them. So this was the relation between Mahmud of Ghazni and the Hindu Shahi rulers. Okay, the next question will be, list the types of warfare for wealth seen in medieval India. So answer, there were some types of warfare for wealth like the tripartite struggle between the Palas, the Pratiharas and the the Rashtrakutas for control over Kannauj. So this was first example of warfare for wealth. Now second is invasion of Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori for India's wealth. Third, Chauhans or Chahamanas who ruled over Delhi and Ajmer and wanted to expand their rule over east and west. So these were the types of warfare for wealth seen in medieval India. Okay. Now the next question related to these lectures will be, what was the tripartite struggle? So the struggle for control over Kannauj among the three dynasties is known as tripartite struggle. So the three parties involved in the struggle were Pratiharas, Palas and Rashtrakutas. So these were what was the tripartite struggle. Okay. Now these were the question answers related to lecture number 1 and lecture number 2 of this chapter, lesson number 2 of history. In the next session, we will be talking about the question answers of the third lecture of this chapter. That is the question answer related to Cholas. Okay, thank you.